I have a confession to make. Terrible transition, I know, I apologize. I know this is Beer Skits, and we're supposed to be funny, but this is something that's been bothering me for a long time. And it's something we just don't talk about as a department. And Billy said I could have one serious skit as long as I put it in the second half. So this is going to be it, and we're just gonna have to get through this. I feel like I don't belong here. All the time. I feel like I'm just kind of faking my way through things. I feel like everyone else knows what's going on, and I'm just like this imposter who's sort of here until everyone realizes what's happening and kicks me out. I don't know how many of you know this, but I've had an unorthodox path to U Chicago. It all started the fall of my senior year of undergrad, when I first met Peter May at a conference. Now, I was not at the conference, to be clear. I was sitting and eating my lunch, and Peter comes up and sits on the bench next to me and just starts explaining equivariant homotopy theory, as he does. And keep in mind, I was a theater major at the time, so I did not know what topology was, and I did not know who Peter May was. So from my perspective, this weird, possibly senile old man was sitting next to me, talking complete nonsense, taking my French fries and arranging them into these little diagrams, eating the French fries, and then he left, muttering about how all the details could be found in some book he wrote 40 years ago. I was hooked. And I immediately decided I wanted to be an algebraic topologist. And I marched straight into Haynes Miller's office and said, I want to do homotopy theory. And he said nothing because it was a Saturday and he was not there. So instead, I had to start going to seminars. I practiced my, yes, I do know what's going on face. I learned how to ask probing questions.
Did you check the covariance conditions?
And here you have the differential.
Did you check the covariancy conditions? Oh, never mind. I see. Followed by a theorem for okay.
And I even got to give my own talks about infinity categories. See, the secret is nobody has any idea how infinity categories work. So you just say a bunch of big words that are homotopy coherent and categorical equivalence, and everyone just kind of assumes you know what you're talking about. It doesn't really check. I even published an entire paper that was just random quotes from the NLab stitched together. It was called Monadic Functors in the Symmetric Monoidal 2 Category of Coamps. I know what 3 of those words mean. But I still had to get into grad school. And I think it's only natural when you're writing an application to, I don't want to say exaggerate, but you list the things you've done in sort of the best possible light. And you start to wonder if the you that got in is the real you, or it's this thing that only exists on paper and is never confused or lost. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think I was lying. I mean, sure, I took credit for a book or two that I didn't actually write. Okay. I slightly expanded my list of talks to include some I hadn't actually given. And maybe one of my accomplishments was slightly completely made up. The point is, I still got in here, right? I get the same emails as everyone else. I take the same classes as everyone else. And I'm not just gonna sit around wondering whether. Hold on, sorry. I have an email. Ah. This is super awkward, but we didn't actually mean to admit you. There's this guy, Dalton Aiken. You would like him. You guys have very similar email addresses. That's my beat. Please talk to Lori about how to return the last 2 years of your stipend. Peter. P.S. You suck at topology. The last bit was unnecessary. Don't worry, I do have a plan. Submitted some other applications, and I'm excited to announce that starting next week, I will be the head surgeon at UChicago Hospital. See you around.